Hope you're having a great day. To demonstrate some joins today. We're going to be talking about joins. We're going to do up, down, and lock. And it should be pretty straightforward. I will demonstrate in this video probably the slip and slide, and then I'll do another video about riego. Please let me know what you think, what you like, what you don't like, what I can improve upon in the comments below the video. Make sure you check out the description box because I have a lot of fun links in there a lot of the times as well, because Muskaan and Jane and Gloria and other wonderful people have let me link to their websites, and they are a whole lot more knowledgeable than I. So I hope that you're enjoying everything that I'm doing so far, and I hope that you are learning, most importantly. So here we go. Let's do a shot here. Okay, this is what we're going to be learning about today. Let me get a little pointer. We're going to be doing the traditional or up join, down join, and this is a lock, and I'll show you why it looks so weird, because this was a ring that's not completed because I did a lock, and that's exactly what it does, is it locks. So as you can see, that's the other part of my ring that's locked open, and I'll show you that. Well, maybe you can't see it because I was off frame, huh? But as you can see, I'm experimenting with another downshot camera. So in my outtakes, my blooper reel, you can see Jason and I, my husband, trying to set that up. It was a little funny, a little touch and go there for a while. But these are my tails over here, and this is the ring that is locked open because of that lock join. So I'll show you that, but we're going to do an up join, traditional join, up join, a down join, and then the lock or shuttle lock. But those are that's a little preview. So let's get tatting. Okay, I have 2 shuttles just joined together with a knot. While you're starting out, it's perfectly fine to use a knot to begin with. As you advance, you're going to get rid of that knot. If you would like to know how I join, there's another video, which I will try to remember to put a card to right now. See my finger? That'll be my reminder. That'll come flying in from up over there, I believe, about how I join, or how I begin, and tat over tails. So if we set up for a ring, let's just do like 4 picot 4. 3, 4. And I'll be right back after I've done that. Okay, I've got my 4 picot 4. I'm going to reverse my work, and I'm going to do a chain of 5. And I will see you back here once I'm done with that. Okay, I actually ended up doing a chain of 7 because it just wasn't quite lined up correctly. And I will say something. I'm going to reverse my work again because I'm going to make another ring here. I will say something about these picots. See, these picots are quite large. These would be what I would consider decorative picots. I made them large so that we can see what I'm doing on camera. When I'm normally making them for myself, they would not be this large. Joining picots are about half this size, or even 3/4 less, this, smaller for me when I make them, because I don't want a huge picot staring at me when I'm making a join. And if you have your picots be too large, then it's just the join is just like a piece of string that goes from like this picot to your work, and it just kind of looks a little wonky to me, and not as good and not as finished as it possibly could. my camera was jumping there, so I hope that we're all connecting and streaming properly. Anywho, so there's that. So I usually make my connections a little, or my picos a little bit smaller, but for this demonstrative purposes, demonstrative, I like that better. So I'm going to set up for a ring. Let's choke back on that camera a bit. All right. And you just begin making your stitches. This is 4 picot 4 again, so we're just going to make a normal 2, 3, 4. And now I'm to the point where I want to join to this picot. And wouldn't you know it, I don't have a crochet hook in here, because why would I bring one to demonstrate joins? That's just silly. So let's see if I can do it with the pick. And if not, I will pause again and go get a crochet hook. But what you do is you go through this picot, you go back here and you pick up this thread, the thread that's on your loom. Pick up a piece of that, and it's around, see how it's around your crochet hook, your shuttle, whatever. Pull that up. Take your middle finger out. Pop it up on that middle finger. This is just good practice, because if you don't, and of course it won't do it now because I'm demonstrating and I want it to, but 9 times out of 10, when you take this out, it will just curl and twist and twist and twist like that at the end. And you want this to stay open and untwisted. You want it to look like that. So you just pop it up there on your finger just to hold it open. Okay, let's do that again just so you can see it. So there it is on my hand. Loom, I've just done 4 double stitches. I'm going to lay this close because this is where I want to join to. And then I'm using the pick. Normally you would use a crochet hook. Let's see if I have a little one. There's one that's on the end of this, just so you can maybe see it better. Go down through, grab that thread, and pull it up through that picot. Then take your middle finger out and just pop it up on your middle finger, your first finger, whatever. All you're doing is doing something to hold that open so that it stays untwisted. If you don't, it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. It's just a hassle to untwist it, and it's just a good habit to get into. So now you've got this loop on your middle finger. You're going to pass your shuttle through that loop. And then you're going to let go of it. And you're going to lift your middle finger. And that's going to pull that loop closed. And you don't want it to be twisted. See how it's not twisted. And you want to pull that next to your other double stitches. Otherwise you'll have a huge picot right here. So you want to pull that down next to your other double stitches. And then there's this kind of walkie dance we do where you kind of pull on this one and pull on this one. Okay? And you just kind of walk it down into place so that it's snugged next to those other stitches. See that? Now some people will do a second half of the double stitch right here, flip this stitch and pull it down and make that. And some people will continue on and start the first half over again. It doesn't matter. There are no tatting police. Just make sure that you are consistent throughout the pattern, whichever one you decide. If you were counting this, you would count 1, 2, 3, 4, join. If you did the second half here, this would count as 1. I normally do not count the join, so I do the first half of the next double stitch, snug that into place, and I count this full stitch as 1. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, join, which doesn't count for anything, 1. I do not count the join in most patterns. There are some patterns I do count the join in, but very, very rarely. So let's continue on with our pattern here. We need 3 more because we just did 1. So 2, 3, 4, and I will do a picot that is what I would consider a joining picot size. That for me is a joining picot, or even smaller. I barely want to see them personally. This is my personal, but you can see that join is quite large and far apart, I guess, is what I'm saying. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and, whoopsie, throw my shuttle, because that's what I do. I'm going to go ahead and take that out. Maybe. Fumble fingers here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and take that out and make that consistent with the other ones so that I can use this piece to join again. 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to go ahead and post my shuttle. Just take your shuttle from the front of your work to the back of your work. Hold your stitches in the pinch and pull it closed. Do the little floofy dance. And there you go. And I'm going to go ahead and make another 7, and I'll be back and we'll do the down join. Alrighty, I'm back and I've done a 7 stitches here, reverse my work. Now I'm going to reverse again, and I'm ready to do another 4 picot 4 and continue on in this motif. So I'm going to wrap for a ring. And that first stitch, you always want to kind of make sure it's really close, really snugged in there, just so you don't have gaps in between rings and change, gaposis. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there are my 4 double stitches, and I want to join to this double stitch, or to this picot, excuse me, don't even know what I'm saying. I want to join to this picot, but I want to do a down join. So what I would do, open up my loom just a little bit. When you're joining, you're always grabbing this thread that's on your hand, the loom thread, and pulling it through the picot. Most times. Lock join is different. We'll get to that. So in an up join, you just leave it and you kind of put it behind the picot so you can grab it a little better like that. Up join, regular join, same thing. We're tatters, we have to name it 5 times the same thing. In a down join, you want that thread to go over the top of that picot, because you're going to be pulling it down through that picot. Put it on your finger. Make sure it's not twisted. Join through it. I went up through the bottom. I don't believe it matters. Let's see. Let's experiment some. Oh, that would make it maybe twisted. Let's try this. Just go through it regular. Perfect. Even better. I like that better. Let's do that. And again, you do the little walkie dance. And see how that one almost looks like a stitch already sitting there, as opposed to our up join. See that? See the difference? Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to, just like I did on the first one, I'm not going to count it in my stitch count. So I'm just going to make the first half of the next one. So first half of the double stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another picot. I'm almost out of thread here. Yikesy. I'm going to make another giant picot. What to me are giant joining picots. I would never make them that big for real. 2, 3, 4. And as you can see, I'm doing the slip and slide. I've come to really like that one. Thank you so much, Miss Jane. Hold all your stitches in the pinch. I'm going to post my shuttle. Shuttle goes from the front of the work to the back of the work. Pull on your shuttle thread, not your shuttle. We don't want to be hurting our shuttles. They are our friends, and they are pretty most of the time. I got 2 ugly ones. I don't know what I was thinking. Do the floofy dance. Oh, that one needs a floofy. Okay, and now let's look at the difference. This is an up join, traditional join, regular join, all the same thing. This second join is a down join. I don't know that it has that many names on the down join one. But I'm going to do a little scrunching of the work so that you can see. See how, I'm going to flip this over. See how on the first one you can see all the legs. See on the second one how the down join, they just sort of disappear. And it looks like a full stitch. It looks like a stitch in there. I'm going to turn it back over. And this is, you'll see what I mean. See how if I scrunch this up, you can still kind of see, it doesn't look like a completed stitch. And this does. It looks, either way you look at it, either one you look at, if I scrunch it up, they look completed. Go back to the up join, regular join. See how they don't look quite completed if I scrunch them like that one does, but see how it just doesn't quite look, there's a little extra little bumpy. A lot of front side, back side. See how that just disappears and it looks completely full, completely made. See the difference? Most people, most tatters that tat front side, back side use down joins because they make the, especially front side, back side, look smoother and all the picots look more uniform, which is the point of front side, back side. I tat traditional, meaning not front side, back side. I have been tatting for about 2 years now, and I still have not tatted front side, back side. No particular reason, but I just enjoy tatting, and if you have to get a microscope to look at my picots to tell if I've front side, back side tatted or not, then you need a new hobby, in my opinion. So it doesn't matter that much to me. I enjoy tatting, and the people that I give the tatting to, most of the time don't even know about tatting, so they're just elated to get, something that's pretty. If you're doing it for competition, however, if you're doing it for the Tatters Across Time proficiency exams, you need to do it according to the directions that they have given you. So if you're supposed to do front side, back side, you need to do it front side, back side. And your joins and your picots need to look accordingly. But that is a down join, that is an up join, and the only one left for this video is going to be a lock join or a shuttle lock join. And I'm going to grab that other piece real quick. And I did the same thing on this piece that I just demonstrated. I did an up join, a down join, and that one's a little clearer. See how the stitches look like a complete stitch on both rings, whereas on that one it doesn't really look like a complete stitch. It looks like they're missing something. You can see both of their legs and how on the down join this disappears and they can kind of stand on their own. That's the difference. So that's an up join, that's a down join, and this is a lock join. And I just want to demonstrate, just want to show you. I cut this off of the shuttle, but I was doing 4, join, 4. And I did a shuttle lock join in this stitch. The reason it is called a shuttle lock join is, and I'm pulling on the shuttle thread, see how those stitches aren't moving? Anything after or before, for that matter, a shuttle lock that stitch into place. I cannot close my ring. I cannot open my ring. It is locked. You do not want to do a shuttle lock join in the middle of a ring, because this will now be your work. This is it. But I wanted to show you so you could see what it does. It locks it, literally locks it into position. Most of the time, a shuttle lock join is done at the end of a ring, joining, into a chain. A lot of times it will be a chain on a chain, and you'll do like a chain, and then if there was another chain to a chain, and like here there was another chain arch above this one, then I would do a shuttle lock join there, shuttle lock join there, because I don't want this chain that's above this real chain. I don't want this imaginary chain to be moving on me. So that's a good way to lock those into place. It also helps you to change direction. If you want to go, we haven't talked about reversing work, but if you wanted this chain to sit more like this, you could do a shuttle lock join and make this go a different direction, almost as if you had reversed your work. Or you could reverse your work after doing a shuttle lock join. So you could lock that last stitch into place, reverse your work, and then go a different direction because you're locking that last stitch. So it's exactly what it says it is. It is a lock. So if you do not want your stitches locked into place where that you cannot close your ring or open your ring, then shuttle lock join is the one you want. Not in the middle of a ring. You'll never be able to close it. That's the point of the shuttle lock. So how do you do it? I'm glad you asked. I am going to do it in the middle, just so you can see, just as if I've, joined to all these. So we set up for a ring. Like I said, you would not do it, but this is for demonstration purposes only. You can try this at home. I encourage you to try this at home just so you can see. Oops, hold on. Let me pause and put my chain in. I'm sorry. I will be right back after I've put my chain in. Okay, I'm back. Whoops, dropped my work. There, I've put in my chain of 7. So now I'm ready to reverse my work again. I was just working like this with my chain. Reverse your work. Set up for a ring. And again, you would never, ever do this in the middle of a ring in this fashion. 1, 2, 3, 4. You would never do this, but for demonstration purposes, I'm showing you. Okay. Most of the time, remember I just told you, you're grabbing this loom thread that's on your hand. In a shuttle lock join, you're using whichever shuttle you're using to make the stitches. you're using that thread to grab. So you can do an up join or a down join. But what you want to do, let me try to get the loom thread out of the way. What you want to do is get your shuttle thread through the picot. So normally I do a down join. It is a lot easier, I think, to do a down. So you just grab that. Take that finger out, though. It is easier to have that middle finger ready. See, it's my shuttle thread. My loom thread is back there. See my loom thread? So my shuttle thread is around my middle finger. You pass your shuttle through. Now this one takes a little extra work because normally you do the walk down and you can just, jig it into place. Put my loom back on my finger. This, you're going to have to decide, nope, it's not that thread. Nope, it's not that thread. Nope, it's not that thread. Come on. This thread here. You want to grab this, you want to grab the thread that's going to close that and snug all those stitches together. So sometimes it's a little bit of an experiment which one you're grabbing, because you want to grab and snug all of that together so that when you pull this closed, a knot will form. Let me see if I can loosen it some. See how that's loose, where it's way far from the join? You want that to be close, so you just gotta experimentally pull on the threads until you find the right one that's gonna pull that down into position. And this gets a little fiddly, so you have to pull all those kind of down, hold it, and then pull your shuttle thread, basically making a knot on that join, and there you go. That's a shuttle lock join. If I were to continue making stitches, which I will just to show you, see if I did it correctly. Whoops. 1, 2, let's just do 2. See, I'm pulling on my shuttle thread. I'm pulling to open the loom. I've done it properly. That is locked. That is a shuttle lock join. You're using the shuttle thread, not the loom thread, to lock that stitch into place. Most of the time, there are always exceptions in tatting. It's like English. This is the rule, except when this is the rule. But most of the time, shuttle lock joins, blah, 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 say that 5 times fast. Shuttle lock joins will be done with shuttle 1 most of the time. I'm sure as soon as I get done speaking, somebody's going to find a pattern in which you're going to use shuttle 2. That's fine. I've been wrong before. I'll be wrong again. But most of the time, I would venture to say shuttle lock joins happen with shuttle 1. Whatever thread, whatever shuttle is making the stitches, you're using that thread to lock it into place. And it should not move very much at all after you're done. The thread has a little bit of give in it, just because it's thread, but that shouldn't move a great deal. Like, see how none of those stitches are moving? Again, you would not use this to join a ring to a ring in this fashion. You would most likely use it at the base to lock, especially these are used in making split chains, which are still my nemesis. I'm trying to learn them because I do eventually, if I can teach them, that would be amazing because I would have to learn them in order to teach them. But if you're doing a split chain, you lock at the bottom of a ring and then fill in your chain so that your threads come out the middle. That's more of an advanced technique, and I cannot demonstrate it at this moment. So pray for me that I can have a mind to understand. But that would be where a shuttle lock join would come into play, when you're locking your stitches into place. Otherwise, have fun playing around with an up join or a down join. Experiment with your work. See which one you like best. Experiment, try traditional tatting, try front side, back side. Remember, if you're doing front side, back side, when you reverse your work to do your chains, you do the second half first and the first half second. So if I were reversing, if I were doing front side, back side, oh, I can't do it on this one. It'll look really strange. We're just going to avoid that ring, pretend it's not there. This is going to look really silly. But this is just for demonstration and just to prove you can have fun in tatting, even if it's a big, fat, wonky mess. So let me just put in, and I just did it backwards. I just told you, and then I just did it backwards. So hold on. Okay, let's try again. All right, throw your shuttles. That's part of the fun. Okay, if I were doing front side, back side, most of the time in traditional, I do first half of the double stitch, right? If I'm doing front side, back side, I do second half, and you still flip that stitch. For a long time, I didn't understand that those stitches were flipped, and so my chains were looking wonky, and I didn't quite understand why. Now I do. Oh, Lord. I don't know if I can do this, honestly, with this like this pretend chain I'm making. And then you do the first half flipped. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. And then second, so this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I got a little picot going in there. Oh, this looks horrible. 7. There, I snugged up my stitches. I got a little picot going. But that's front side, back side. So then when if you did it properly, would reverse, it would look better, much, much better than I have demonstrated right there. Oh my gosh, it looks horrible. Eventually, I will demonstrate maybe a front side, back side. But that was just a quick and dirty demonstration. Mostly dirty. Horribly, horribly done. Don't imitate that. Oh my gosh. But anyways, that's how you would do front side, back side. You just do the second half first and the first half second. Make sure those stitches are flipped, and then all your picots will look right. But most of the time, like I said, if you're doing, just ignore everything under my finger. If you're doing front side, back side, you would use down joins. But experiment. See what you like. See what looks good to you. And let me know what you think down in the comments. Or you can send me an email to AngeLovesToTat, ANGLUVZ, the number 2, tat@gmail.com. If you really want to get a hold of me, it's also on my channel under to contact me if you really, really wanted to. But you can comment below. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you like. And of course, you know the tagline. Don't forget, you are the masters of the thread. You have opposable thumbs and scissors. Have a great day, everybody.